Baba,
Yes, my son.
tell me a story.
Which one?
The story of home.
Millions of years ago, a meteorite made of vibranium, the strongest substance in the universe, struck the continent of Africa, affecting the plant life around it. And when the time of men came, 5 tribes settled on it and called it Wakanda. The tribes lived in constant war with each other until a warrior shaman received a vision from the panther goddess bust, who led him to the heart-shaped herb, a plant that granted him superhuman strength, speed, and instincts. The warrior became king and the first Black Panther, the protector of Wakanda. 4 tribes agreed to live under the king's rule, but the Jabari tribe isolated themselves in the mountains. The Wakandans used vibranium to develop technology more advanced than any other nation. But as Wakanda thrived, the world around it descended further into chaos. To keep vibranium safe, the Wakandans vowed to hide in plain sight, keeping the truth of their power from the outside world.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Reggie from HBCU Spotlight, and I'm back with another banger. As you can see, 87% of the channel's viewers are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you'll be alerted anytime that I upload a video. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is the story of yet another trailblazer who is out to bring black colleges back to prominence. This is the story of Branson Zeus Robinson. Robinson is a 5'10", 223-pound running back in the class of 2022 from Madison, Mississippi, where he attends Germantown High School. He is a 4-star rated recruit, the #1 player in Mississippi, the #1 running back in the nation, and the 41st best player in the country. By just looking at his pictures, you can see that he is a grown man. He squats 620 pounds, benches 400 pounds, has a 40-inch vert, and runs a 4.40. In just 3 seasons, he has been phenomenal. He has racked up over 2,000 yards on the ground on 273 carries for 29 touchdowns. know what some of you are thinking. What in the world are they feeding this guy? And how did he get so strong and so fast? Is he on that vibranium? Robinson calls himself a country boy. He's always been country strong. When he was younger, he would go to work with his father. He's a car salesman. He would pick up bricks and cross ties at the dealership. He would come home feeling sore on those days. My first year of high school, I had watched the Herschel Walker documentary, Robinson said. Another Georgia running back. I watched him. He did 1,000 push-ups a day and 1,000 sit-ups a day. I just got so inspired about that and how he transformed his body. The whole summer, I did 1,000 push-ups every day. I didn't quite get to 1,000 sit-ups. I did about 800 sit-ups a day. I went from 160 pounds in my 8th grade year to then my 9th grade year, I weighed 205. Once I got in the weight room, I was in the weight room. I'm in there all the time now. There's no longer any need for 1,000 push-ups every day. That's just where it all started for me. It was 250 every hour. Then he'd rest, get some fluids, then 250 another hour. He'd do 50 push-ups at one time. There's no wonder that 2 of his Germantown coaches also call him Atlas all the time. His running backs coach and friends will call him Zeus. Several recruiting sites say that he has a total of 16 scholarship offers, but I'm sure that number will continue to rise until he makes his final decision. Some of those schools that have offered Robinson are Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Florida State, Georgia, LSU, Michigan, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alcorn State, and there was one new school that just sent over a scholarship offer. That school is the Jackson State University, led by Coach Prime. In April, Robinson put out his top 5 list of schools, which included Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, LSU, and Tennessee. I know it's still a long shot, but wait, there's more. He has family ties to a certain HBCU in the SWAC. Both of his parents and his brother Braylon attended Alcorn State University. His brother currently runs track for the program, where he is a beast. He's the school record holder in the 60-meter dash, was the 2021 SWAC indoor champion in the 60 meters, along with a multitude of other accolades.
Even start, and Braylon Robinson is out, and he is out huge. Braylon Robinson is your 2021 SWAC 60-meter dash champion with a time of 6.65. Wow. Second, Adele Coltrus, and third, David East of Alabama State. That is a top 20 time, top 15 time for Braylon Robinson. 6.65, top 15 time nationally for Braylon Robinson. We did not see him in 2020, but he has definitely made himself a force to be reckoned with in 2021.
Not only is he spectacular on the field, he is also a great person off the field as well. His head coach at Germantown High School, Tim Schremek, had nothing but praise when it came to discussing Robinson. Such a great kid from a great family, Coach Tim said. When folks call about him, just about the best compliment I can give anybody is if he grew up, got a job, and moved next door to me, then I'd be happy to have him as a neighbor. And I don't know if we can say that about everybody that we run into. Robinson is a freak in the weight room and just naturally strong. You got all these kids who specialize and say that they got to do this and can't do that, Coach Tim said, because that's not my main sport. And then you've got a kid like Branson. The state powerlift champion was getting ready for a meet, so he was lifting heavy on a Tuesday. It meant 3 sets of heavy weights on that day. He squatted heavy with his 3 sets of 3 at about 90%. Then he eased into the locker room, sat down and changed his clothes, and went down on the field. During the track meet and stretched, Coach Tim said, relaxed a little bit, then got up and won the 100 meters and 200 meter dash. Try to Google a list of 16-year-olds in America who can squat 3 sets of 3 at 525 pounds and then win the 100 and 200 in a track meet that same day. Branson just kind of does track, Coach Tim said. He's really into football and powerlifting, but just goes and does track on the side too. As you can tell by his transformative Herschel Walker story, Branson is not your typical 17-year-old. He's experienced some hardships in his life that make him cherish the moments and strive to be the best. There's an image set as his Twitter profile picture. That image isn't of Robinson, but his uncle and young niece. It is the answer to what drives him to run fast and lift every weight. My uncle was shot and killed, Robinson said. He was nothing but like 27 years old, and he left a daughter behind. That just pushed me even more. I want his daughter to grow up knowing that my uncle was a great man. I played for him also. That gave me extra motivation. He writes the initials BJR on his pre-wrap and then spat on his cleats before every game. That is for Bryant Jerome Robinson. It's really about bringing honor to the Robinson family. He just wants to see generations of his family have it easier than he did. I want to leave a legacy, he said. I want people to talk about me for years to come after I'm done playing. I want to leave a legacy for my future kids, to let them know what hard work can do for people and let them see the results it shows. He had no interest or offers prior to the 2020 season. He played in just 2 games in an injury-riddled 2019. Robinson said he will always play with a chip on his shoulder like that. It will still mean he has everything to prove. When he gets off the bus, he always plays like he is mad about something, Coach Tim said. It's a little more calculated than that. When I run the football, I'm looking to dish out pain, Robinson said, especially on the first couple of runs. I want to set the tone. Once you get in their heads and you keep hitting them like that, well, come around the fourth quarter, they don't want to hit you anymore. I'm an angry runner. When the seams open up, I do look for the seams to open up. But if somebody is in my way and trying to stop me from seeing the seam, I'm going to dish out the violence to them. If there are any scouts out there, specifically ones at HBCUs, you will want to pay close attention to this next part. Robinson was asked what he was looking for in the school. Really and truly, I want to go to a team that has a good offensive line, he said. I know Georgia definitely has all that. I want to go to a school with good facilities and a good atmosphere and good fans. Aside from football, I do want one thing, a really good biology program. After football, I plan to be a physical therapist, so I'll look for a school with a good biology program. The school that I end up choosing, man, they have got to have that. He sees a good future in that. It will be something involved in sports and training of the body. He knows he can make a good living at that too. I actually did a virtual tour about the academic side of things with Georgia, he said. They link up very well. I want to say Georgia and Clemson had the 2 top programs I want to major in of the schools that I'm considering. Those 2 schools have what I'm looking for as far as the biology program. Robinson signing to an HBCU would be astronomical. A player with his talents can make it to the NFL from anywhere, but making it to the league from an HBCU would be a monumental statement. Doing it from an HBCU would be amazing. A school that actually cares about his well-being on and off the field, whether he goes on to become the greatest running back of all time, a doctor, lawyer, school teacher, or a PE coach. These types of schools will truly support him. On top of that, he has family ties to Alcorn State University. Let's just dive into that a little bit. If Robinson committed to Alcorn, oh my goodness. If Robinson committed to Alcorn, they would have one of the best backfields in the country. Did you hear me? In the country. Robinson will be joined in the backfield by the electrifying Nico Duffy and their new transfer, who is a former Texas A&M running back and former Mr. Football in the state of Tennessee, Cordarius Richardson. This will be a dream come true for the program. Even though he doesn't have family ties to Jackson State, you can never count them out, regardless of the player. The fact that Robinson is in the state of Mississippi, I'm pretty sure that Coach Prime is working his magic to get him on campus. In his short time at the helm, as the coach of Jackson State, Coach Prime has proven himself and his staff to be elite recruiters. The Tigers are littered with elite recruits now, and more are on the way. The large number of players deciding to leave Jackson State has made room for new recruits like Robinson to come in and do damage immediately. Hey Robinson, let me holler at you for a second. You say you're trying to be remembered, right? Georgia has elite running backs every single season. They often get forgotten, and some don't ever get mentioned. Steve McNair left Alcorn 30 years ago and still gets talked about to this day. I'm just saying. Thanks for watching the video. If you made it to the end, type in "Come Home Zeus" in the comment section. Let's keep growing and supporting the historically black colleges that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe, leave a like, and a comment. We're on the road to 10K. From us, over here at HBCU Spotlight, we're rooting for you, Robinson, and looking forward to seeing you shine on the field. We out of here. Peace.
got every right to be cocky. You gonna get knocked out.
Okay, 242.